So, I wanted to come on and talk about the difference between a polyamorous man and a polygynous man. So, with a polyamorous man, you don't really know what you're getting, right? I mean, he could have multiple women he's talking to. He could have where he wants to be like a couple with another couple. He could have where he wants to do more like swinger activities. I mean, you really don't know what you're dealing with. So, as a romantic wife, you know, and you should have figured out that you love both men and women, right? So you at least have that foundation. So when you're going out to try to figure out how to build your family and you're interested in marriage, then you would be looking for a polygynous man. Um, when a man tells you that he's poly, you need to make sure that he defines what he means. Don't just let that stay at poly. It can mean a lot of different things, and you need to understand what you're dealing with, because the last thing you want him to say is, I told you and I was upfront and honest with you, and he doing all type of stuff that you never really thought that you'd be dealing with, right? So you want to clearly understand that he's a polygynous man. So a polygynous man is a man that's serious about marriage. He's honestly no different than, say, a man, he's monogamous and he's looking for his wife. You know how he's serious and he's dating and he's getting to know women and he's serious about starting a family. That's how a polygynous man is. He's just having more than one wife, right? So he's still going to be faithful and loyal to you. He's not going to be out there with other women because he's trying to build. So he doesn't want to continuously start back to zero because he just keeps losing his first wife and he can't ever get to a second because he's out there cheating. And he should be operating the exact same way that a monogamous man will operate. He's just building, right? And the biggest thing is he's going to marry you. I know in this country, you can't legally marry more than one spouse, but he should still be putting in legal provisions. He should put in legal provisions for you to be able to take his last name. He can do a trust, like where it's like a business trust, and he can put assets and things like that and make sure you're on it so that, if he does unfortunately pass away, you'll be taken care of, or, some God forbidden reason you guys divorce, you'll be taken care of. So he'll put things in provision to make sure that you as a wife is going to be taken care of. But the main thing is he's going to marry you. He's going to make sure you have his last name. He's seeing you as a wife. He's seeing you as someone he could spend the rest of his lifetime with. He's seeing you as, the mother of his children. He's seeing you as that. It's just he's going to build upon that. And then he's also accepted, that, my wives are going to love each other as well. My wives are going to be married to, each other as well. He's accepted that. So, that's what you're looking for. So don't let a man tell you he's polygynous and then he's out there cheating on you and just doing what he wants to do. That's not a righteous polygynous man. And I feel like men like that give righteous polygynous man a very bad name. Like, all the men I know that are righteous polygynous men are actually very faithful to their first wife. They're not out there cheating on her. They're not out there with this woman. They're very, very concerned about hurting her feelings. They discuss everything with her. This is the woman I'm talking to. Do you like her? Do you think she's pretty? That's what my fiance does. Like, he always lets me know. He always shows me, the women. Do you like her? I always show him the women. We communicate. And I'm like, oh, okay, she's cool. So then, he'll talk to her. And I trust him. So I'm not like on his back. If he needs to share something with me, he does. If he gets to the point where he feels like she's a good person to talk to, like he'll get to know her. And when he feels like he needs to introduce us, then he will. But I don't deal with any drama. I don't deal with, unknown women I don't know about. I don't deal with any of that stuff. Like, because the main thing is that if you have a righteous polygynous man, for you to stay in your feminine, because we talk about feminine nature, right? For you to stay in your feminine, you cannot have a man that's giving your soul unrest. Like, he's doing things where your soul and your spirit is constantly in uneasiness state because of what he's doing. And it makes it very, very hard as a romantic wife for you to even be a good wife to the wives that are coming, because he's got you under so much distress that you can barely even, mentally stay sane because of him. how the heck are you going to give love to anybody else? So he should understand that it's very important that you're loved and you're cared for and you're attended to, and that he's not doing anything to distress you. And he's being very open and communicative about how he's moving, and make sure you're always comfortable so that you have a heart to be able to love and cherish the wives that are coming into the family. So just make sure, romantic wives, that when you are looking for a polygynous man and he says he's poly, that you make sure he defines that. That you make sure he defines that. That he's serious about marriage. He's not out here playing, trying to be with a bunch of different women on you and calling that polygyny. That's not polygyny. I don't. That's polyamory. I don't know. That could even be an unhealed man. I don't even know what to call it. But like I said, every polygynous man I know is he's actually practices monogamy. He's actually very faithful, and he's building upon that. And so because he's faithful, he's true, he's trustworthy, then he has the autonomy to, talk to women, to date women, and he's very upfront and honest about it. And you can trust him. You can trust him because he's going to tell you what's going on. And I don't micromanage my fiance. If he tell me, oh, she's pretty, I'm talking to her, I'll let you know how that goes. I know that he's going to have my back. I know that if she likes him and he introduces her to me and she don't like me, then he's going to keep it moving. He's not going to stab me in the back or do things behind my back. Like, I fully trust him. And because I fully trust him, he has peace. I don't bother him about stuff. He's chilling, he has all the peace in the world in his home, and he's able to build the polygamous family that he desires. And unfortunately, a lot of men do not have the self-discipline to be able to do that. And you know what you need to make sure they got? A very close relationship with Yah. A very close relationship with God. Only God can give them that self-discipline where they're mature enough to not F stuff up. Where they're mature enough to not be basically like controlled by their private parts or controlled by their urges, or they'll let just a woman, because she's so beautiful and so pretty and so this, that, and the third, completely jack up their whole family. Like, that they understand their vision and their purpose, and they're not letting anything or anybody mess that up because they have a very close relationship with Yah, and Yah is leading them. That's first and foremost. To me, if he ain't got a relationship with God, I'm not talking to you. I'm not dealing with you, period. Because I know I'm about to deal with some mess because you leading yourself. And Lord knows when a man leads himself, it might be a lot of me involved. But Yah is going to make sure that he takes care of his family. Because Yah loves women. Yah loves women. Would you think Yah don't love you? You think Yah thinks that men are above you? No. Yes, we have roles and the man is our head, but the man is no more important to Yah than we are. So don't think that Yah would call a man to hurt you, call a man to play you, make you look crazy in these streets. Don't think that. Let society tell you that nonsense. Yah would never call for a man to do that to you. He wouldn't. And so, really think about, what I said when you're looking for a polygynous man, because I want to see more romantic wives get with good polygynous men. I do. Because I think we could form some really powerful, beautiful families. But we got to choose right, ladies. You got to choose right. So I'm just here to give you the difference so you know when you're out here, whether you're talking to a single man or a man that's already married, that this is what you're looking for when a polygynous man, be wary when he say he's poly. Make sure he defines that. Okay?